Fantastic ball there. A chance for Morocco. 1-0 to Morocco. Sarabia! What a pass! Goal number 1. Morocco! Against the run of play, Morocco take the lead. What a pass! What a pass! I think that assist came from Brahim Diaz. A completely, defense splitting pass there, straight through between Marquinhos and Gabriel. He's in on goal. What a pass! Alisson in no man's land, and Sarabia just lobs the ball over Alisson, and Gabriel is clutching at straws there. What a finish! Till date, no save for Yasin Bonu, and here's Vinicius. Goal! Just what a response! What a response! Brazil are back in it. Vinicius Junior. He doesn't have to be in the game most of the time. One chance, one goal. Brazil level. Brazil lose the ball. Fantastic ball there. A chance for Morocco. 1-0 to Morocco. Sarabia! What a pass! Goal number 1. Morocco! Against the run of play, Morocco take the lead. What a pass! What a pass! I think that assist came from Brahim Diaz. A completely, defense splitting pass there, straight through between Marquinhos and Gabriel. He's in on goal. What a pass! Alisson in no man's land, and Sarabia just lobs the ball over Alisson, and Gabriel is clutching at straws there. What a finish! Till date, no save for Yasin Bonu, and here's Vinicius. Goal! Just what a response! What a response! Brazil are back in it. Vinicius Junior. He doesn't have to be in the game most of the time. One chance, one goal. Brazil level. Brazil lose the ball. Fantastic ball there. A chance for Morocco. 1-0 to Morocco. Sarabia! What a pass! Goal number 1. Morocco! Against the run of play, Morocco take the lead. What a pass! What a pass! I think that assist came from Brahim Diaz. A completely, defense splitting pass there, straight through between Marquinhos and Gabriel. He's in on goal. What a pass! Alisson in no man's land, and Sarabia just lobs the ball over Alisson, and Gabriel is clutching at straws there. What a finish! Till date, no save for Yasin Bonu, and here's Vinicius. Goal! Just what a response! What a response! Brazil are back in it. Vinicius Junior. He doesn't have to be in the game most of the time. One chance, one goal. Brazil level. Brazil lose the ball. Fantastic ball there. A chance for Morocco. 1-0 to Morocco. Sarabia! What a pass! Goal number 1. Morocco! guess the run of play. Morocco take the lead. What a pass! What a pass! I think that assist came from Brahim Diaz. A completely, defense splitting pass there, straight through between Marquinhos and Gabriel. He's in on goal. What a pass! Alisson in no man's land, and Sarabia just lobs the ball over Alisson, and Gabriel is clutching at straws there. What a finish! Till date, no save for Yasin Bonu, and here's Vinicius. Goal! Just what a response! What a response! Brazil are backing it. Vinicius Junior. He doesn't have to be in the game most of the time. One chance, one goal. Brazil level. Brazil lose the ball. Fantastic ball there. A chance for Morocco. 1-0 to Morocco. Sarabia. What a pass. Goal number 1. Morocco. I guess the run of play. Morocco take the lead. What a pass! What a pass! I think that assist came from Brahim Diaz. A completely, defense splitting pass there, straight through between Marquinhos and Gabriel. He's in on goal. What a pass! Alisson in no man's land, and Sarabia just lobs the ball over Alisson, and Gabriel is clutching at straws there. What a finish! Till date, no save for Yasin Bonu, and here's Vinicius. Goal! Just what a response! What a response! Brazil are backing it. Vinicius Junior. He doesn't have to be in the game most of the time. One chance, one goal. Brazil level. Brazil lose the ball. Fantastic ball there. A chance for Morocco. 1-0 to Morocco. Sarabia. What a pass. Goal number 1. Morocco. I guess the run of play. Morocco take the lead. What a pass! What a pass! I think that assist came from Brahim Diaz. A completely, defense splitting pass there, straight through between Marquinhos and Gabriel. He's in on goal. What a pass! Alisson in no man's land, and Sarabia just lobs the ball over Alisson, and Gabriel is clutching at straws there. What a finish! Till date, no save for Yasin Bonu, and here's Vinicius. Goal! Just what a response! What a response! Brazil are backing it. Vinicius Junior. He doesn't have to be in the game most of the time. One chance, one goal. Brazil level. Brazil lose the ball. Fantastic ball there. A chance for Morocco. 1-0 to Morocco. Sarabia. What a pass. Goal number 1. Morocco. I guess the run of play. Morocco take the lead. What a pass! What a pass! I think that assist came from Brahim Diaz. A completely, defense splitting pass there, straight through between Marquinhos and Gabriel. He's in on goal. What a pass! Alisson in no man's land, and Sarabia just lobs the ball over Alisson, and it's, Gabriel is clutching at straws there. What a finish till date. No save for Yasin Bonu, and here's Vinicius. Goal! Just what a response! What a response! Brazil are backing it. Vinicius Junior. He doesn't have to be in the game most of the time. One chance, one goal. Brazil level. Brazil lose the ball. Fantastic ball there. A chance for Morocco. 1-0 to Morocco. Sarabia. What a pass! Goal number 1! Morocco! Against the run of play, Morocco take the lead. What a pass! What a pass! I think that assist came from Brahim Diaz. A completely, defense splitting pass there, straight through between Marquinhos and Gabriel. He's in on goal. What a pass! Alisson in no man's land, and Sarabia just lobs the ball over Alisson, and it's, Gabriel is clutching at straws there. What a finish till date. No save for Yasin Bonu, and here's Vinicius. Goal! Just what a response! What a response! Brazil are backing it. Vinicius Junior. He doesn't have to be in the game most of the time. One chance, one goal. Brazil level. Brazil lose the ball. Fantastic ball there. A chance for Morocco. 1-0 to Morocco. Sarah.
First semi-final ticket of the FIFA World Cup 2026 in North America, to be exact, United States of America, Mexico and Canada, is up for grabs tonight at the Foxborough Stadium in Boston, and it'll be between France and Morocco. It's world number 1 against world number 6. It's the former world champions up against last World Cup semi-finalists, and it's time to run it back again. Remember, the last time we saw these two sides in the World Cup was 4 years ago in Qatar in the World Cup semi-finals. This time we dial it back a bit into the quarterfinals as France take on Morocco, who have got over 1 million inhabitants right there in the country of France. So everyone is watching all the way from Morocco, from wherever you, Casablanca, to Paris. Everyone is definitely watching, and kickoff is upon us. Is in some 7 minutes from now, and all of the action right here on VIV Exports as we talk you through the key moments, the big moments, every goal, every yellow card. Hopefully, maybe we get some red cards, we don't know, but every tackles, everything, all the excitement we'll be talking you through right there on VIV Expo. So welcome to our watch along. My name is Olale Adigo, and I have my consistent partner right here. I've got Alex on this one. Alex, good evening and welcome to the show. And if you're watching us from the States, good afternoon to you, because we're some 5 hours behind right there at Boston, which means we're some 4 p.m. or thereabout in Boston. But it's good to have you on this one, Alex, and I'm sure you're looking forward to this one. It's Africa against Europe.
Yeah, it's Africa against Europe once again. Good evening to you, Olali. Good to be here once again for another exciting FIFA World Cup game that would go down in Boston, like you rightly stated. The repeat of the semi-final match that we saw in 2022, 4 years ago. France won that one by 2-0, and I think that they'll be thinking in that direction again, this time to take a semi-final ticket from Morocco. Morocco have been so impressive, one of the most impressive African teams, if not the best African team so far at this tournament. The only African team remaining in this tournament. Will also be looking at this as an opportunity for them to make the semi-finals for the second edition running. I mean, they did that in 2022, and they'll be hoping that they do that once again in 2026. But it's been exciting. The World Cup has been so good. We've enjoyed the games. I've had fun with some of the things that we've seen so far, and hopefully, like you said, this game brings all of the excitement. I mean, the tackles, the goals, the excitement, the yellow cards, need I say the red cards if they come to. But I'll be looking forward to an amazing football match. It has been interesting from the first knockout game. That's the South Africa-Mexico game. Sorry, the South Africa-Canada game. It has been interesting from that moment and the round of 32 down to this moment. All of the knockout games have lived up to the billing. They've lived up to the expectations. We've seen lots of goals. We've seen amazing matches. Yeah. And I can tell you for free, Olali, that this one is also going to register one amazing game at the FIFA World Cup.
All right, so Africa's lone representative is in action. It's on 5 minutes from now, and they are up against the world champions from 1998 and 2018, gunning for a third one, and they are massive favorites, as we're getting live pictures right there at the Foxborough Stadium where Morocco are currently reciting their national anthem, as we see Achraf Hakimi on our screens and the Moroccan fans blasting the anthem. Mohamed Wabi also on our screens. Don't forget, Wabi was quickly brought in to replace Walid Regragui, who led this team to the World Cup semi-finals and also winning the AFCON final. Yeah, that's an asterisk on that one. But fun fact, Mohamed Wabi spent the first 45 years of his life in Brussels, in Belgium, so just fits into the fact that majority of this team were not even born in Morocco, and they identify a whole lot with Europe where they were born. But hey, I saw documents today when one of them, the top government officials in Morocco, had to put out a statement and say that every talk that they align more with Europe is false, and they see themselves as totally African. So the continent of Africa will definitely be supporting Morocco tonight. Let's take a look at the lineup real quick and start with the North Africans, and there's some very interesting changes Mohamed Wabi has made up front here. But let's start from the back where Yassine Bounou is in goal. At left back is Salah Eden. There's Nusayr Mazraoui, there's Issa Diop, and Achraf Hakimi. Now we've got Nail El Ainoui and Hayo Bouhaddi protecting the back four, and it's a front four of Bilal El Kanous. There's also Unai Brahim Diaz, was got 4 assists in this tournament, and Sofiane Rahimi does not start after he was brought on to replace Ismail Saibari, who has been ruled out of today's game. And guess who starts? It's winger Kemsidin Talbi, who plays in the Premier League with Sunderland, that has started in that false 9 role for Morocco. Your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, it's surprising to see Talbi start. I mean, he was wonderful for the Sunderland side for last season in the Premier League, but we haven't seen Saibari start on the bench yet in this tournament, and this is a switch that I'll be looking at closely in this game to see what Talbi brings on that right hand side. I mean, it still means that they can switch it up. Unai can go to the right, Talbi can come down the middle, Brahim Diaz can also switch up from the middle down to the left hand side. So it's going to be like rotation for the front four for the Moroccan side, because they'll be looking to just put a bit of confusion rather in that French defense. But looking at it, it's not a bad team. I have to say it's a strong lineup for the Moroccans. Maybe not the expected 11 that you would want to see, but that's just the story. It's still a strong lineup with Diaz in there, Unai just behind Diaz, and you can also see the man Ayouni, like you talked about, very good defensive midfielder who has done so well for Morocco so far in this tournament. We just expect to see them play well in this one. I think the manager has done so well to start these guys.
All right, let's take a look at France and our day lineup for tonight's quarterfinal. Mike Maignan in goal. It's a back four of Jules Koundé, Dayo Upamecano, William Saliba, and Lucas Digne. And in midfield, there's Manu Kone, Adrien Rabiot, and up front, Ousmane Dembele, Michael Olise, Desiré Doué, and Kylian Mbappé, who has got 7 goals in this tournament, alongside Erling Haaland. But the top scorer we know is Lionel Messi, who got his 8th against Egypt some 2 days ago. For France, you get a feeling that the manager seemed to have switched things up after the group stages, especially at left back and also up front. Sometimes you saw Bradley Bacola starting games. Now he's restored Desiré Doué, but he's kept faith with Lucas Digne and didn't start Theo Hernandez, who actually scored in this game last 4 years ago.
4 years ago, what's his name? Hernandez scored the first goal of this game. But Lucas Digne comes back to start. One of the bright, left backs when it comes to the French national team. But I'm looking at Manu Kone coming into that midfield alongside Rabiot and also Desiré Doué, like you said. Bacola on the bench this time around. But it's same for same. I mean, it's still the same strong French national team. This team can easily be one of the best 11 of this tournament, if not the best 11 of this tournament, with Jules Koundé, Upamecano, Saliba, and Digne, and then Mike Maignan, like you said, very good goalkeeper for the French national team. But I think it's same for same for the French national team. There will be some changes much later in the game, but I think they've started out with their best 11, and leading the line. Who else? Kylian Mbappé, who has scored 7 goals, like you said, already in this tournament, and will be looking to add to that tally.
I kick off is any time from now. France up against Morocco. Our referee is Facundo Tello. Actually, it's an all-Argentinian lineup for the officials. Our VAR is Hernan Mastrangelo, who is also Argentinian as well. That has caused a bit of uproar, especially on the back of the controversial circumstances that saw Argentina beating Egypt in their last 16 time. Well, kickoff has started, and traditionally Morocco get us underway, but they've kicked it into a throwing scenario to pin back France, who will take the first throw of this game. Promises fireworks, Alex, right?
Yeah, it does promise fireworks. The French, playing from right to left. You can already see that the team is settling in, kicking the ball around with their white and all-white jersey. So it will be easy to differentiate these two teams. Morocco will be knowing that this is an important game for them. They have to show that it's not a fluke that they are here. It's not a fluke that they are the only African team remaining in this tournament. They've been brilliant from the very first game they played against Brazil down to this moment. So I'll be looking forward to seeing what they bring to the table and how they push back this French national team side, because for the French, this may just be their biggest test so far after they defeated Senegal in the group stages.
Can Morocco stop Kylian Mbappé? That's the $1 million question, but there's only one way to find out as we warm ourselves into this one. Foul on Manu Kone, and that will be a free kick to Les Bleus, and it's Nail El Ainoy with that foul. It's been impressive in the middle of the park for Morocco. I mean, we learned a lot about him at the last AFCON. Always calm in midfield, and having Ayoub Bouadi alongside him, fantastic mix has been for the Moroccans in this tournament. Bouadi is just I think 17 or 18 years old of age, plays at Lille, and already plenty of interest coming for the young star, who I'll be telling you more about apparently.
Oh, nice.
I know is fantastic footwork from Brahim Diaz there. Back to Bouadi in a bit, who gets the ball to Achraf Hakimi.
You can already see that the front four of the Moroccans are shifting positions. You just saw some moment ago Brahim Diaz playing down the right hand side. He originally should be down the middle, but you can see that he's already drifted to this right hand side. So they will be moving and changing positions. That would be to unsettle the French defenders, and that's smart from the Moroccan manager.
France taking their time with Michael Olise. Now it's Ousmane Dembele. Crossfield pass to Lucas Digne, and France lose that one. Quickly recovered through Issa Diop, who has only just one goal for the Atlas Lions, and that came in an all-important last 32 clash against the Oranje of the Netherlands.
Yeah, it was a brilliant header. He just arrived into the box, almost like what a striker would do. Connected to that one really well, bent the ball into the back of the net and gave the Moroccans a lifeline. They were heading to lose that game, and before he stepped up with that header, and that dragged it to penalties, and they won.
And France have started now. Ousmane Dembélé on that right hand side, trying to connect to Michael Olise in the box. Manu Kone now finds William Saliba. Saliba comes left to Lucas Digne. Digne to Desiree Doué. Doué looking for options, finds Mbappe in that middle, and what an effort from Kylian Mbappe. And Yassine Bono had to be very, very much alert. But what an effort from the Real Madrid man. That looked like it was going out, but Bono had to be sure.
Well, Bono had to be sure. I think it was creeping into the bottom corner. You never can tell. Those kind of balls can't hit the back of the net from that position. But
and do we have a first goal? No, but what a save!
What a save
from Yassine Bono there. First big chance of the game going to Les Bleus. That I thought was always destined for the back of the net.
Yeah.
How has he managed to save that, Alex?
That was a great save from Yassine Bono. I think he had no idea where the ball was going. It's always difficult for goalkeepers to keep out a header, especially when he's so close. Well, it was a good ball from the left-hand side. I think it was Kylian Mbappé who put that cross into the box, and the header came from one of the French players on that far side. But good save from the goalkeeper. I think Upamecano got to that ball. Yeah, a good header, bounced off the ground. Goalkeeper had an idea where that ball was going, so it was a good save to keep the game at 0-0. But here they come again, France.
Kylian Mbappé on the edge of the box, trying to get to the byline, but doesn't get there on time. Goal kick to Morocco, but you can see the early statement of intent from the French. They are going to attack all night.
Yeah, it should be a high-scoring game. I can tell from the way the French have already moved in the first 5 minutes of this one. Clear intention. They want to attack Morocco from the get-go and score lots of goals if they can in this game. And you cannot also put it against the Moroccans too. When they have the ball deep inside the French half, they can cause trouble because they have quality players who can do that. But from the balance of play in the first 6 minutes of this one, Olale, I can tell you for free that the French have had the better chances. They've almost converted 2 chances, 2 shots on target, if you may, with Kylian Mbappé and Upamecano getting on the end of those ones.
It's always important when you play juggernaut like France that you don't consider early, and Morocco will be very, very much wary of that, not to get behind them early, withstand that early surge of or early wave of attack coming from France. Very much important for them.
Yeah.
They try to stem the tide. Now Achraf Hakimi trying to bring the ball out, finds Munai, wins a throw. Morocco yet to also make any meaningful attacks so far. Reflecting on the last World Cup in Qatar, the semi-final, Walid Regragui said to the Moroccan media a couple of years ago that he regrets some of the tactical decisions he made in that semi-final game. Thought he respected France too much. I mean, Morocco played a lot of attacking football, a lot of defensive football in that tournament. I think they were averaging about 35-40% possession, even when they beat the likes of Portugal and France.
Yeah.
But maybe against Portugal and Spain, I meant, but maybe against France, maybe just wanted to attack them a bit and played into the hands of France, who picked them apart. Although you could say maybe a couple of defensive errors.
Yeah,
I've seen highlights of those games, and maybe the defending could have been better.
Yeah, it could have been better. I mean,
the goal for Theo Hernandez and Randa Colomani.
And Randa Colomani's goal, it was just free on the far side, easy tapping into the back of the net. He would put that in the back of the net any day, any time. So, yeah, maybe they should have, defended a little more compact as they did all through the tournament. But I can understand it's a semi-final of the World Cup. You want to put your best attacking legs forward, and you want to try and score to qualify to the next round, because how long can you stay defending against a French national team, with Mbappe, Dembele, and the lots of attacking quality that they have. I mean, you wouldn't want to sit down and allow them come at you. And already you can see that Morocco in this game are settling for passing the ball and trying to play their way from behind.
I said I was going to talk more about Ayub Bouhadi, the young star, the whiz-kid in Morocco's midfield. At the age of 3, Bouhadi was already taking gymnastic classes. Not just gymnastic classes, was excelling in handball, tennis, badminton, and cycling as well. Talk about a player who has starred for Morocco in midfield. As Morocco win a free kick through Brahim Diaz. It's just 1 assist short of Michael Olise's 5 in this tournament. And he'll be very much key for Morocco going forward in this game. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, VIV Exports, and join the community that is propagating the African game. And interestingly, I also learned that Ayub Bouhadi is a mathematics whiz-kid. In fact, the French education sector has never seen it for someone to average 18.5 over 20 in all 20 subjects. It has never happened, but Ayub Bouhadi did that in high school.
He's quite the kid, and now he's playing at the World Cup quarterfinal against France. And that's wonderful.
And there he goes, but he loses the ball to Manu Kone as Kylian Mbappé comes, gets the ball to Doué, who tries to find the bottom corner, but Issa Diop blocks that one.
Well, there was a chance there for France. It was Mbappe who had the earlier opportunity, but he moved the ball to the left-hand side, had to lay the pass for Desiré Doué, who had only one thing in his mind there, to shoot and try and disturb the Moroccan defenders. It was a fine block by Diop, who stood his ground to block that from going anywhere past the defensive line. Morocco seems to be settled the way they hold the ball and try to pass it from left or right or even down the middle, as they know it would be detrimental if they try to match France toe to toe and maybe play the French way, which is come out and play football. It would be better for them to keep on with possession and try to bring the French out of their positions and rely on the brilliance of Brahim Diaz, who I think is their best leg going forward.
France clear through Adrien Rabiot. So they tried to just bring the ball forward, but they've not really excelled at that, Morocco. But they seem to have found a bit of solidity as Ayub Bouhadi brings the ball forward. Another fun fact, Ayub Bouhadi is best of friends with Kylian Mbappe's brother, Ethan, who also plays at Lille in the French Liga.
Well, I think he's brilliant.
And there's a lot of familiarity. Yes, Morocco has a chance. Come forward. Bilal El Khanous tries to switch it over to Talbi. Keeps it in, but it's been robbed off the ball by Kone. I mean, how Morocco plan to go about the business without a recognized number 9? It would be interesting to see. I'm surprised not seeing Sofiane Rahimi, who came on against Kanda, got a goal in the second half, who can be a focal point for them. I'm surprised why Wabi hasn't started him as France come forward now. Ballon d'Or winner, Ousmane Dembele. I think that's Michael Olise actually. Gets Jules Koundé involved. Now to Pamecano. France just trying to find the spaces. That's a wrong pass from Saliba to the path of Brahim Diaz, who now tries to come forward. It's Brahim Diaz up against Kone. Is been intercepted. It's been robbed off the ball, but Brahim Diaz has been left on the hip. So Reed's in pain.
You can clearly see from that attack that the Moroccans are not so eager to put too many bodies forward. Brahim Diaz only had one player on his right hand side.
Footwork from Kylian Mbappé, just trying to connect to Manu Kone. But
that was nice.
Just blocked, but the attack is still very much on. Mbappe is still very much involved. Now to Michael Olise on the right hand side. Comes on to his left. Mbappe now to Adrien Rabiot. Rabiot finds Doué on the left hand side. Back to Rabiot. France cooking something. Digne tries to get across in, but that's headed out. And France laying an early siege on that Moroccan area.
It's a clear sign that they want to sit back and defend for as long as they can, and if they get opportunities on the counter, they will hit the French national team on the counter. You can see the last defender, Saliba, deep inside the Moroccan half. So the French are clearly on top of this one when it comes to the possession starts and creating chances.
Right, Naila, I know it's fouled. Michael Olise was trying to look for the spaces there. As we take a look at Brahim Diaz on that counter attack, I think it's a foul as well.
I think it's a foul, yeah.
One will hope that the referees will take center stage again today after the last game at the World Cup before we went on our first World Cup break. That was yesterday. Olise takes that free kick, but it's headed out by Nusayr Mazraoui, who is also playing in what looks like unfamiliar territory. He's playing as a centre back tonight.
Yeah.
With Salah Eddin now playing a left back for Morocco. Now space for Kylian Mbappé there, cleared by Diop. Oh, Bono almost gets into trouble there. Just trying to beat his time there. Salah Eddin trying to bring the ball forward now. Ayoub Boadi. To Hakimi, we haven't seen much of him bombing forward though. The CAF African Player of the Year. Now maybe Morocco can conjure something.
Oh,
Brahim
nice.
Diaz, lovely exchange between him and Unai there. Has lost the ball to Rabiot, but the referee will bring back play because it appeared that Unai was fouled. Yeah, that was a foul from Lucas Digne.
And just a late one there. You can see Digne was going for the ball, but catches the player because Unai was quick to let that one fly. It was a quick pass to Brahim Diaz. But I think the referee was correct or right to call that back, foul for the Moroccans.
Since the advantage did not materialize?
Yeah. And this is an opportunity now for Morocco to maybe send a good ball into the box. But again, I think Morocco are bent on keeping a defensive shape rather than play attacking football. You can clearly see not too many Moroccans are in the box. Only 4 Moroccan players are running for this one.
Alright, free kick taken by Hakimi. It's a deep one, but that will roll out of play. But back to Azzedine Unai, one of the breakout stars from the last FIFA World Cup in Qatar. I mean, got a dream move to Olympique Marseille, but things did not really work out. I think these days he plays his football with Girona in La Liga.
Yeah.
But there's some certain players, just give them the world stage, they love it. Once they do the world stage, whatever happens, they just know how to work their magic when it comes to a stage like the World Cup.
Yeah.
And maybe Azzedine Unai is one for that. Scored against Canada as well. As France come forward through Kylian Mbappé, going on another of his mazy runs. This time, does he win a throw? Or it's actually a throw in Morocco's favor. Just one goal short of Leo Messi's 8. 14 knockout goals for Mbappe. I was discussing with a colleague. I mean, say it's a sport where not every time you do get everything.
Yeah.
You know, even the greatest of players didn't have everything. Zinedine Zidane did not have a perfect end to his international career. Ronaldo de Lima never won the Champions League. But for Kylian Mbappe, what was it going to be? I don't know yet. I know he's won the World Cup. What looks like his career is currently being defined by what is done with France rather than what is done at club level.
Yeah, true. And I think that's the conversation around him. Many look at his exploit for the French national team. Has won the World Cup.
He's got a hat-trick in the World Cup final.
Hat-trick in the World Cup final. He's also won the Nations League with the French national team. So is quite successful when it comes to national team football, but you can't really say the same. I mean, apart the fact that he was so successful for PSG, many would also contribute that to the fact that he hasn't won the Champions League. PSG have not won back-to-back Champions League in Europe, and he's not part of that setup. He hasn't really won anything meaningful for Real Madrid since he became a Real Madrid player. So people look at him more for what he has done at national level than club level. And yeah, I don't think any player is perfect, if you ask me. I mean, some players have won the World Cup and don't have the Champions League, like you said. Delima Ronaldo, one of those players. But Kylian Mbappé, great lad, fantastic football player, and I think that with time he would win something for Real Madrid, at least the Champions League, so to speak.
All right, there's a new sheriff in town at Real Madrid, and his name is Jose Mourinho. And we'll see how Kylian Mbappé excels under the Portuguese manager, the special one. But also, after France dispatched Paraguay in the last 16, Mbappé was subjected to abuse from a Paraguayan senator, Celeste Amarilla, who he described as despicable and racist after she called the France captain a colonized Cameroon. And some few hours ago, I just learned that the national legislators in Paraguay have distanced themselves from Celeste Amarilla's comments, saying that it does not represent them. But Amarilla is doubling down, asking for an apology from Kylian Mbappé. How that's not going to play in the head of the player?
I doubt that very much. He's focused on football. I mean, he scored in that game, and you saw him taunting them after full time. So I don't think he's bothered by that. They're done and dusted. They're out of the tournament. That's for Paraguay now. France are still very much at the FIFA World Cup, and one of the favourites to win it. I think Mbappe is bent on that rather than thinking of anything happening out there in Paraguay.
And the footballing community definitely have backed Kylian Mbappe, FIFA, UEFA, Real Madrid. Manu Kone trying to send a cross in. He wins a corner kick for France. Nusser Mezraoui blocking that one. It's actually Jules Koundé, I think. Corner kick to France. 20 minutes gone. Still no goals yet in Boston. And the fans are here to see lots of goals. I also hear that ticket prices have dropped a bit since some of the big teams have exited the stage.
Yeah.
Corner kick, but that header from Adrien Rabiot is just lacking direction. We see the show on our screen right now. What do you think he's thinking right now?
Yeah, well, I mean, his team is on top. I don't think he's too bothered about what the French are doing. They're doing really well. They're having better chances in this game. They've created way more than Morocco so far in the first 20 minutes of this one. The only thing is the game is still at 0-0, but they've had 2 shots on target. They've had more corner kicks in this game, so they're definitely on top of this one. Morocco are just satisfied with sitting deep, trying to soak up the pressure with 2 lines of 4, waiting for that counter-attacking opportunity. But I don't think that Didier Deschamps would be, bothered about anything. I mean, it's still very much early days in this game, and like I said, they're very much on top of this one.
Very much on top. Cross from Michael Olise. It's just doesn't find Manu Kone. Olise not looking really inspired tonight.
Well, I mean, that's sometimes the story for him, and then
could it also be the fact that maybe this is actually the first real test for France at the World Cup?
I don't know.
All due respect to Paraguay.
Yeah, all due respect to Paraguay. I think I wouldn't write off Michael Olise or write off any of the French players. Remember what happened in the Senegal game? I mean, we covered that game, and in the first 45, Michael Olise was nowhere to be found, and second 45, you saw a different Michael Olise. So I don't think that it's too early to call it and say he's not part of this game. Whereas we've seen him put some misplaced passes here and there, some crosses not good enough, but he's still very much the guy that gets things going for the French national team, deep inside that midfield. So I wouldn't put it against him to, at some point in this game, find a very telling pass that may produce the first goal of this game for the French national team.
The last time France took on an African side in this tournament was their first game of the competition, actually.
Yeah, and it was at this stadium.
And it was same stadium,
yeah.
And The first half also wasn't too good until they turned on the magic in the second. Now they come forward through Ousmane Dembele, who's lost the ball to Saladin. Hydration break coming right up in the moment. We're in the 22-minute mark as Morocco bomb forward now. Pass towards Kemsidin Talbi, but it's lacking support up front as France will try to recycle possession with Michael Olise now coming forward through the middle. Finds Kylian Mbappé. Mbappé runs into traffic. Referee says play on, no foul. Unai now coming forward. Morocco getting some confidence through Brahim Diaz. Finds Achraf Hakimi. Hakimi to Unai. Unai just trying to slot in Hakimi, but he wins a corner kick. And that will be Morocco's first corner kick of the game. Oh, that's some crunchy one coming from both two friends, Hakimi and Mbappe.
Yeah.
Corner kick is taken. It's a short one for Morocco. Brahim Diaz sends it in. By Adrian Rabiot Glaze. You get a feeling that once the ball goes out of play, it will go on an hydration break. The ball remains still in play right now as Morocco win it back again. Unai seeing a lot of the ball. Finds Talbi. Morocco just trying to find some penetration here. Ainoy to Unai. Short pass to Boadi. Boadi to Hakimi. Hakimi to Brahim Diaz. It's up against Lucas Digne. Finds Boadi with a short pass. Back to Brahim Diaz. Morocco onto something here. Boadi just trying to get to the end of that dinked pass as France will attack after Robin. Achraf Hakimi. Olise throws that pass to Kylian Mbappe. Mbappe just up with some. It's a penalty.
Easy.
France penalty after a mistimed tackle from Nusay Mazraoui. And just when we thought the aggression break was around the corner, Morocco have considered a penalty, but will VAR?
Yeah, that should be checked. I
will
think
VAR have to tell Facundo Tello to go back to the foul on Achraf Hakimi? Your thoughts, Alex?
Well, that's clearly a foul, but I don't
think it's a foul.
Well, Desiree Doué got the ball, and look at this one again. Mbappe steps over. Yeah, that's a clear penalty. No challenger whatsoever. It's Mazraoui. He didn't get the ball. He certainly, well, this is contentious if you ask me, but I think that Mbappe knew that when that leg was coming, it was going to ride off that one and go to ground, and there was slight contact in there, but I think they'll have to check the Hakimi Achraf tackle where Desiree Doué touched him first, but Mazraoui going into that tackle was cynical. I think that if you're running at an attacking player, at a defender in that position, you have to try and block the attacking player out of play and not try to go into a tackle as silly as that. But easy penalty. Facundo Tello doesn't have to check VAR for that one. It's a clear penalty. Well, they're checking the penalty though, but I think it's a penalty. I think it will stand.
So a VAR check is going on right now as Hakimi remonstrates with one of the assistant officials, trying to plead that a foul happened lead up to that penalty incident. But the penalty will stand as we get ready for Kylian Mbappe to take this one. It's Mbappe against Yassine Bano, aiming for his 8th of this FIFA World Cup 2026. Can France take the lead in Boston as Didier Deschamps looks on nervously?
I was going for 8.
Nerves are still here as Mbappe looks on. Facundo Tello just trying to organize the rest of the players to leave the area. And this nerves are still. Yassine Bano is known for his penalty saving heroics, his penalty saving exploits. Can he save this one from the Real Madrid goal machine? And every second between now and when that penalty is taken looks like eternity for Didier Deschamps.
Well, I think there's something is going on. I have no idea. Facundo Tello, well, we're going to get on with the penalty. That ball doesn't look like it's on the right on the money. Okay, check over. I think they were checking that earlier challenge. That's Desiree Doué on Hakimi.
Looks like Facundo Teo is just trying to tell the Moroccan players to definitely get out of the penalty box. Mbappe now will take this one. And saved!
That was poor.
It is on target for Yacine Bono.
That was a poor penalty.
Saves it. And his penalty saving exploits him. The legend continues for Yacine Bono. He has saved the feeble effort from Kylian Mbappe, and it stays goalless. 28 minutes gone, Alex.
Yeah, that was a poor penalty from Kylian Mbappe. You can see the run up to the penalty, not so confident. He tried to just pass it down the left hand side of the goalkeeper's right, but Yacine Bono guessed right, went down his left and got a comfortable save. And I know Kylian Mbappe to be a guy who likes to go for power rather than precision, so that's a surprising technique from Kylian Mbappe. And we'll go for our water break.
Finally, hydration break is upon us, and there is a lot to talk about in the first 20 minutes of this game. But that was a poor penalty from Kylian Mbappe. Yeah, I mean, the goalkeeper didn't need to make any extra efforts there.
Yeah, it was just I think it was looking to side-foot it into, roll it into the back of the net. But I mean,
I can see him complaining to the center referee.
I have no idea what he's complaining about. He's missed the penalty, big opportunity to give the French national team their lead in this game.
So our Golden Boot front runners have missed penalties.
Yeah,
Lionel Messi missed the second of the tournament a couple of days ago against Egypt, and now Mbappe has missed against another African opposition in Morocco. It stays scoreless. Hydration break currently on. We're going to take ours as well, right?
Yeah,
we should. We'll be right back just in a bit. Stick around with us via VX Sports. We're still bringing you the action from Boston. It's France 0, Morocco 0. Hydration break.
Those dirty tactics during the AFCON. I mean, they've showed absolute class tonight against a solid team like Brazil. They could have won the AFCON without all the... I mean, did they win? Did they not win? Nobody really knows. Nobody really knows right now. But one thing is clear. The class they are showing tonight, if they had showed that throughout the AFCON, and I think any team would have, apart from Senegal, obviously, and Nigeria, potentially, would have struggled to keep up with Morocco. They've been absolutely outstanding. What a pass! Goal number 1! Morocco! Against the run of play, Morocco take the lead. What a pass! What a pass! I think that assist came from right.
We're still bringing you all the action from the FIFA World Cup quarter-final game between former world champions France and African champions with an asterisk Morocco. It's goalless, and the big talking point is the penalty miss from Kylian Mbappe. But this time around, we're back from the hydration break, and Ousmane Dembele has also just fluffed another opportunity. Cuts into his left, but that's well wide, Alex.
Yeah, well wide from Ousmane Dembele. Cuts it into his left foot. With the drop of the shoulder there, you would have expected him to at least get that ball on target, but he's played that one off target. There's still France creating opportunities, creating chances to score. I've been a bit disappointed with how Morocco have approached this game. They've approached it way too, deep and relaxed, and the French just keep coming at them.
Now it's time of opportunity for Morocco to also come forward, but that's a missed time pass from Unai to Diaz, and France take that through in real quick. Olise just applying some urgency there, but it's run into traffic again. Referee says play on. Olise just running into that midfield pivot of Boadi and Hel Al-Nouri. Both of them, I think, I've gotten instructions to just sit deep and protect the back four.
Yeah.
They're doing it really, really well.
Yeah, they've kept their shape. I think that it's been really good, the shape they've kept in this game. That's for the Moroccans. They've not let too many go past that defensive lineup, even though the French have created chances of their own, but the Moroccans are still bent on keeping their shape, trying to mostly play from the back.
But I like to see Morocco being more adventurous.
Yeah,
maybe they're growing into the game. But we've praised them a lot for being adventurous. I haven't seen that so far.
Yes, at some point they have to be adventurous. At some point they have to, look for that jugular. They have to move forward with many bodies, because you don't see too many players going forward when they have an opportunity to bring the ball forward against the French side. You see only, the last time they had an opportunity from a counter, it was only Brahim Diaz and Unahi who were up front. The rest of the Moroccan players just relaxed and decided to stay back. This is beautiful for Morocco.
Morocco just trying to carve out something, but that is defended really well by France. Just to also mention, back to the penalty situation, Mbappe was forced to wait 3 minutes and 12 seconds to take that penalty.
Yeah, that can put pressure on you.
Was that a factor?
Yeah, I think it can be a factor. At some point they were even uncertain if it was going to be given as a penalty, but here they come.
And France might just take the lead here, but another save from Bono. It's Desiree Doué with that effort after Ayoub Boadi's pocket was picked. Just in midfield, just trying to get cute with the ball, and Desiree Doué. Not another strong effort from Doué there.
It wasn't so good of a shot. You can see Didier just jump, just surprised at that one. It was another good opportunity for the French side. You saw the Moroccan defenders lacking to get behind, and Desiree Doué's shot there parried away to the corner. And Michael Olise will take. Well, he's been told to put the ball on the line at least. Assisting with players and just trying to manipulate everything in football now. It's quite sad.
Corner kick Olise takes, but the head is just not powerful enough from Jules Koundé, and Bono picks that one up easily. Now Morocco can come forward. But, that's great work from Manu Kone. But Michael Olise just gives it away cheaply. And this has to be one of the not too good performances from Olise, who also has the yellow card shadow looming over him. If he gets booked tonight, he will miss the semi-finals. That is if France to qualify tonight. Just like we've heard that Jao Kwanse will serve a 2-match ban for his red card against Mexico for England. So apparently all animals are equal, but Fulani Balogun as an animal is more equal than the others. After FIFA suspended his red card for him to be able to play against Belgium after a call from US President Donald Trump. And just some few hours ago, Andrew Giuliani, the head of the White House World Cup Task Force, also said because of the federal dollars that they did spend, it was important that they had some favors go their way. That was the height.
Yeah, I don't know what I make of that kind of comment.
This definitely has smeared the integrity of the game. It will definitely be one of the sour points of the World Cup. irrespective of whatever excitement we do get from this Mundial.
Yeah.
Free kick to France. Manu Kone fouled again. I'm looking at this game. I think that for some of the very, very costly errors Morocco have made in crucial or critical areas, I don't think France have punished them enough.
Yeah, I don't think they have. I mean, just like the other opportunity from Desiree Doué, they picked the pocket of a Moroccan midfielder deep inside their own half. They've not really taken their chances. It's been, few and far in between for the French side. And that should be credited to Moroccan players, what they've done, keeping their shape. And you can see how tight they are with every French player. Look at that. Just 3 Moroccan players there rushing onto the ball, and they got the ball cleanly. That's nice to watch.
Who knows, maybe Morocco have also borrowed from the Paraguayan playbook.
Yeah.
They've been really, really good. It's been mass defense, especially when players like Michael Olise have held onto the ball. 10 attempts on goal from France, 0 from Morocco. But the most important thing for Mohamed Wabi is the fact that his lads have not considered yet, and we are closing in on half time. 38 minutes gone. Still France 0, Morocco 0. Live watch along right here on VIVX Sports on YouTube. Make sure you're subscribing to our channel. And it's so congested in that Moroccan half. France are struggling to find a way through.
Yeah, they're struggling to find a way through, and that congestion there is because of the bodies that Morocco put behind the ball, especially when they're defending really deep. And sometimes it can be difficult to pass your way through when you have too many red shirts around the white shirts who are looking to attack. But here they come now.
Now Morocco coming forward. Brahim Diaz just trying to now come from the left hand side. Connect Salahidin, will get a low cross in. Well, France clear their lines. And that will go out for a goal kick. You know what they say, that the only way in is through. And maybe that's what France will have to do here. The only way they can break through or break in is to go through. But right now, there are lots of roadblocks. France have had to do not much defending.
Yeah.
But on the other side, they've lacked clarity of purpose. What we've seen more has been offing and puffing. But don't forget, big talking point from this game so far, Kylian Mbappé missing from the sport. A chance to give France the lead and give them a chance to make it into the World Cup semi-finals. Now France coming forward again, but lovely interception from Salahidin. He's born in the Netherlands, but his allegiance now is to the Atlas Lions. And actually 20 of this 26 squad from Morocco are born in Europe. We talked about their manager. Even their former manager was born in France as well. And their captain Achraf Hakimi was born in Madrid. Look at that Moroccan squad. Probably it's the only one that really identifies as real Moroccan.
Yeah.
All due respect to the rest. And maybe that's just the blueprint going forward. Is that, Alex? Maybe even for the Super Eagles, maybe going forward, the way to really close up the gap is to start looking at talents from abroad.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, it wouldn't be a bad idea. We've seen the integration of some of those kind of players in our team. Emmanuel Fernandez being one of them.
Yeah.
Aziz also one of them. So I mean, we can have that too. But
and this World Cup we've seen a lot. Even the co-hosts have had to rely on players born abroad.
Born abroad. So, but they would have to be players of quality in the end. I mean, you cannot just go and pick them because they were maybe born in Finland or Norway or Australia or whatever they're born in, and decide to play for Nigeria. You have to pick quality players also. But yeah, I think that's the way to go. If Morocco are doing it and they're succeeding, but that's not the only thing that can make a national team successful. There's other areas that have to be put in place to also make things go well. And Nigeria has a long way, trust me, a long way to go in that regard.
25 of the 26 players squad for Curacao were not born in Curacao.
Yeah.
The only player born in Curacao was Tai Chong. Same applies to Cape Verde as well. I think about 14 players. Can say that for Algeria as well, about 13 players. Same for Tunisia, about 12. And I remember, for the likes of Curacao, who denied the likes of Honduras, Costa Rica, a chance to come to this World Cup. Honduras, Costa Rica have a squad mainly based of players who are based in their countries. But yet they are not in the World Cup. So maybe that's just the template going forward.
It's not a bad template though, if you ask me.
Like you said, it's just not the only thing you need.
It's just,
there's also building infrastructure.
Yeah.
Very much important. That's what Morocco has been able to, bring all together. It's a combination of factors, and they've been working on this for the last 15 years or thereabout, and see what it has culminated into. Back-to-back World Cup quarterfinals. First time an African side will do that, and they don't look like a flash in the pan.
Yeah, at all.
They look. I'm looking at the European elites right now, and we know the European elites. Your France, your Argentina, your Spain, your England. I see if I can add England to it though. But right now you look like Morocco are now a bona fide member of the elites.
Yeah, they are. Rightly so, they are. And I think that they, are one of the most technically gifted teams in Africa. And they go toe-to-toe with some of these big teams, and they play really well. They've held France to 0-0. It's 44 minutes on the clock. It maybe should have been 1-0 if Mbappe had converted that penalty, but you can see that Morocco can stand toe-to-toe with the best teams in the world, and it's just the evidence of what they've done. Like you said, for the past 10 years they've been investing in football, and that's why they are here, and that's why they represent the only African team left in this tournament. And you can never put it past Morocco to qualify tonight. You can never put it past them because of their exploits, what they've done in this tournament. They've shown us that they have the determination to go all the way. And with the message from CAF earlier today, wishing Morocco good luck, this could just be the opportunity for them to put many of the French players. Griezmann is having his time of his life right there, but could be sorrow at the end of the day. The French national team have had their chances. They've had shots on target. They've even had a penalty, but this game is still at 0-0. So maybe that's the template that could work in favor of the Moroccans much later in this game.
Ranked 6th in the world has to mean something. Then you can see them holding the number 1 ranked nation in football to a stalemate so far. 5 minutes will be added on. So France will come again. Long pass towards Kylian Mbappé, but Yassine Bono quickly off his line to clear. Ball back with France. Lucas Digne on the left hand side connects with Desiree Doué, who has been he reclaims the ball again. That's some good show of defense as Michael Olise comes infield, just trying to influence the game, but it's been marshaled. Any zone he goes to, it's got players who are just trying to get in his way. Now ball to Adrien Rabiot. Rabiot just sends that pass to Digne. Digne chooses not to cross, finds Doué again. Doué to Saliba. Saliba finds Kone. Kone from distance, but it's blocked by Talbi. Now Ousmane Dembele finds Olise in the box. Olise just trying to get a shot off. It's blocked again by Brahim Diaz, this time from distance again. That hits the crossbar. That's a shot from distance from Lucas Digne. That was floating.
Yeah, he knows how to hit those ones. We've seen him score from positions like that for club level for Aston Villa. Nicely hit. That ball was travelling, hit the crossbar. I don't know if the goalkeeper got a touch to it. Yeah, just a slight touch to it from Yassine Bono.
That was a wicked effort from the Aston Villa left back, who takes it through now. And maybe that might just be the last resort for France, trying to hit from a distance. They come forward again through Jules Koundé. Dembele. Now to Mbappe. Mbappe switches it to Upamecano now to do a lovely control from the PSG man. Just tries to go to the byline, but that's some brave defending from Achraf Hakimi. Wins a goal kick as Due is pleading for a corner kick. See that again? That's some very, very brilliant and brave defender from Hakimi, who puts his body on the line there against the PSG wing wizard. Definitely will go out for a goal kick. I think Facundo Tayo will rule out that out for a goal kick as we approach half time now. Oh, he's still got some 2 more minutes before full time. Dembele now on that right hand side, trying to cut to his left, but he tried to deceive Salah Edin. Very much aware of that and recovers the ball. Edin has been very impressive on that left hand side for Morocco on the defensive phase. Now it's Ainoy coming forward, finds Hakimi to Brahim Diaz. Could Morocco have something up their sleeves here? Now to the captain, Hakimi again. Just trying to look for the spaces. And this is where maybe I think Morocco could do well with the number 9. They've been unable to send crosses into the area. But Diaz just trying to whip one in here. That's a handball just on the edge of the area. That could just have been a penalty for Morocco. And Facundo Tayo sports it. It's a free kick this time, just on the edge of the box. It's on the edge of the box. Free kick for Morocco. And that clearly hits the hand of Adrien Rabiot. Could this be an opportunity for Morocco to take an unlikely lead, maybe against the run of play, because it's been all France, as Achraf Hakimi and Brahim Diaz will stand on this one.
This looked like a good opportunity for them to at least test the goalkeeper. If it wouldn't end in the back of the net, the goalkeeper has to be tested. It's a really good opportunity. I fancy Brahim Diaz.
Oh, that's a poor effort from Achraf Hakimi there.
Lord.
Just tries to bend the ball around the wall. But that's it's just a very, 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 very poor effort from the PSG man. It's half time in Boston. The last World Cup finalist have failed to inspire, with Kylian Mbappé missing from the sport for France. And Morocco will be very much impressed with the way they've held on in this first 45 minutes. It's no Victor the Vanquished at halftime. France 0, Morocco 0. It's halftime, and we'll be back on VIV Sports for halftime thoughts alongside Alex. So make sure you stick around for that. I'll be taking your calls as well. If you're watching the game and you're watching this watch along, call us up and let us know your thoughts, especially what you're looking forward to in the second half. We'll be right back.
Diaz, a completely, defense splitting pass there, straight through between Marquinhos and Gabriel. He's in on goal. What a pass! Alisson in no man's land, and Sarabia just lobs the ball over Alisson, and Gabriel is clutching at straws there. What a finish till date. No save for Yassine Bonu. And here's Vinicius. Goal! Just what a response! What a response! Brazil and Vinicius Junior. He doesn't have to be in the game most of the time. One chance, one goal. Brazil level.
Oh, this is unbelievable.
Ali Reza Fagani has stood by his decision.
But it's a minimal. Look at that again. I think that this, because of the magnitude of this game, I can understand it's minimal, just slight. Look at that. The left boot of Mbappe touches the thigh of Sadio Mane. This easily is given in a Premier League or La Liga game.
I actually think, I haven't seen it.
I think that's a penalty.
I think it's not a penalty. Because actually, I think there's no connection.
There's no connection
with Mbappe's foot.
Yeah, the Sadio Mane foot that went straight.
Yeah, actually,
it didn't touch Mbappe.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think that's the decision.
Yeah, I think that's what's done it for Fagani.
Well,
I mean, it's very rare to see.
I don't understand.
Centre referees being told by VAR officials
to check,
to go to the monitor and check and stand by this. It's very rare.
Very rare, yeah.
I mean, they've showed absolute class tonight against a solid team like Brazil. They could have won the AFCON without all the. I mean, did they win? Did they not win? Nobody really knows. Nobody really knows right now. But one thing is clear: the class they are showing tonight. If they had showed that throughout the AFCON, and I think any team would have, apart from Senegal, obviously, and Nigeria potentially, would have struggled to keep up with Morocco. They've been absolutely outstanding. Why all those dirty tactics during the AFCON? I mean, they've showed absolute class tonight against a solid team like Brazil. They could have won the AFCON without all the. I mean, did they win? Did they not win? Nobody really knows. Nobody really knows right now. But one thing is clear: the class they are showing tonight. If they had showed that throughout the AFCON, and I think any team would, obviously, and Nigeria potentially, would have struggled to keep up with Morocco. They've been absolutely outstanding. Lose the ball. Fantastic ball there for Morocco. 1-0 to Morocco. Sarabia. What a pass! Goal number 1. Morocco! Against the run of play, Morocco take the lead. What a pass! What a pass! I think that assist came from Brahim Diaz. A completely, defense splitting pass there, straight through between Marquinhos and Gabriel. He's in on goal. What a pass! Alisson in no man's land, and Sarabia just lobs the ball over Alisson, and Gabriel is clutching at straws there. What a finish! Till date, no save for Yasin Bonu, and here's Vinicius. Goal! Just what a response! What a response! Brazil are backing it. Vinicius Junior. He doesn't have to be in the game most of the time. One chance, one goal. Brazil level. Brazil lose the ball. Fantastic ball there.
But it's a minimal. I think that this, because of the magnitude of this game, I can understand it's minimal, just slight. Look at that. The left boot of Mbappe touches the thigh of Sadio Mane. This easily is given in a Premier League or La Liga game.
I actually think, I haven't seen it.
I think that's a penalty.
I think it's not a penalty. Because actually, I think there's no connection.
There's no connection
with Mbappe's foot.
Yeah, the Sadio Mane foot that went straight.
Yeah, actually,
it didn't touch Mbappe.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think that's the decision.
Yeah, I think that's what's done it for Fagani.
Well,
I mean, it's very rare to see
I don't understand.
center referees being told by VAR officials to go to the monitor and check and stand by this. It's very rare.
Very rare, yeah.
Why all those dirty tactics during the AFCON? I mean, they've showed absolute class tonight against a solid team like Brazil. They could have won the AFCON without all the... I mean, did they win? Did they not win? Nobody really knows. Nobody really knows right now. But one thing is clear. The class they are showing tonight, if they had showed that throughout the AFCON, and I think any team would have, apart from Senegal, obviously, and Nigeria potentially, would have struggled to keep up with Morocco. They've been absolutely outstanding. Why all those dirty tactics during the AFCON? I mean, they've showed absolute class tonight against a solid team like Brazil. They could have won the AFCON without all the... I mean, did they win? Did they not win? Nobody really knows. Nobody really knows right now. But one thing is clear. The class they are showing tonight, if they had showed that throughout the AFCON, and I think any team would have, apart from Senegal, obviously, and Nigeria potentially, would have struggled to keep up with Morocco. They've been absolutely outstanding. Why all those... A chance for Morocco! 1-0 to Morocco! Sarabia! What a pass! Goal number 1! Morocco! Against the run of play, Morocco take the lead. What a pass! What a pass! I think that assist came from Brahim Diaz. A completely, defense splitting pass there, straight through between Marquinhos and Gabriel. He's in on goal. What a pass! Alisson in no man's land. And Sarabia just lobs the ball over Alisson. And Gabriel is clutching at straws there. What a finish. Till date, no save for Yasin Bonu. And here's Vinicius. Goal! Just what a response! What a response! Back in it! Vinicius Junior. He doesn't have to be in the game most of the time. One chance, one goal. Brazil level.
Oh, no penalty.
Oh, this is unbelievable.
Ali Reza Fagani, goodbye his decision.
Well, it's a minimal just look at that again. I think that this, because of the magnitude of this game, I can understand. It's minimal, just slight. Look at that. The left boot of Mbappe touches the thigh of Sadio Mane. This easily is given in a Premier League or La Liga game.
I actually think, I haven't seen it.
I think that's a penalty.
I think it's not a penalty. Because actually, I think there's no connection.
There's no connection with
Mbappe's foot.
Yeah, the Sadio Mane foot that went straight.
Yeah, it didn't touch
Mbappe.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think that's the decision.
Yeah, I think that's what's done it for Fagani.
Well,
I mean, it's very rare to see
I don't understand.
center referees being told by VAR officials to go to the monitor and check and stand by this. It's very rare.
Very rare, yeah.
Oh, no penalty.
Oh, this is unbelievable.
Ali Reza Fagani has stood by his decision.
Well, it's a minimal just look at that again. I think that this, because of the magnitude of this game, I can understand. It's minimal, just slight. Look at that. The left boot of Mbappe touches the thigh of Sadio Mane. This easily is given in a Premier League or La Liga game.
I actually think, I haven't seen it.
I think that's a penalty.
I think it's not a penalty. Because actually, I think there's no connection.
There's no connection
with Mbappe's foot.
Yeah, the Sadio Mane foot that went straight.
Yeah, it didn't touch
Mbappe.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think that's the decision.
Yeah, I think that's what's done it for Fagani.
Well,
I mean, it's very rare to see
I don't understand.
Center referee is being told by VAR officials
To check.
to go to the monitor and check and stand by this. It's very rare.
Very rare, yeah.
Oh, no pass.
During the AFCON. I mean, they've showed absolute class tonight against a solid team like Brazil. They could have won the AFCON without all the... I mean, did they win? Did they not win? Nobody really knows. Nobody really knows right now. But one thing is clear. The class they are showing tonight, if they had showed that throughout the AFCON, and I think any team would have, apart from Senegal, obviously, and Nigeria, potentially, would have struggled to keep up with Morocco. They've been absolutely outstanding. Brazil lose the ball. Ball there, a chance for Morocco. 1-0 to Morocco. Sarabia! What a pass! Goal number 1, Morocco! Against the run of play, Morocco take the lead. What a pass! What a pass! I think that assist came from Brahim Diaz. A completely, defense splitting pass there, straight through between Marquinhos and Gabriel. He's in on goal. What a pass! Alisson in no man's land, and Sarabia just lobs the ball over Alisson, and Gabriel is clutching at straws there. What a finish! Till date, no save for Yasin Bonu, and here's Vinicius. Goal! Just what a response! What a response! Brazil are backing it. Vinicius Junior. He doesn't have to be in the game most of the time. One chance, one goal. Brazil level. Brazil lose the ball. Fantastic ball there. A chance for Morocco. 1-0 to Morocco. Sarabia. Pass! One! Morocco! Against the run of play, Morocco take the lead. What a pass! What a pass! I think that assist came from Brahim Diaz. A completely, defense splitting pass there, straight through between Marquinhos and Gabriel. He's in on goal. What a pass! Alisson in no man's land, and Sarabia just lobs the ball over Alisson, and Gabriel is clutching at straws there. What a finish! Till date, no save for Yasin Bonu, and here's Vinicius. Goal! Just What a response! What a response! Brazil are backing it! Vinicius Junior! He doesn't have to be in the game most of the time. One chance, one goal. Brazil level! Brazil lose the ball. Fantastic ball there. A chance for Morocco. 1-0 to Morocco. Sarabia! What a pass! Goal number 1. Morocco! Against the run of play, Morocco take the lead. What a pass! What a pass! I think that assist came from Brahim Diaz. A completely, defense splitting pass there, straight through between Marquinhos and Gabriel. He's in on goal. What a pass! Alisson in no man's land, and Sarabia just lobs the ball over Alisson, and Gabriel is clutching at straws there. What a finish! Till date, no save for Yasin Bonu. And here's Vinicius. Goal! Just what a response! What a response! Brazil are backing it! Vinicius Junior! He doesn't have to be in the game most of the time. One chance, one goal. Brazil level. Brazil
to our coverage of the first quarterfinal of the FIFA World Cup between France and Morocco. Second half has commenced. It's still goalless. So far, so good. But Kylian Mbappé missed the penalty in the first half after a feeble effort at Yasin Bonu. That was saved. And Didier Deschamps will be open for a response. And Mohamed Wabi will be hoping that his boys can hold on, keep their solidity, and probably just create something and just nick or take advantage of one or two opportunities and upset the former world champions. Alex, welcome back.
Yeah, we're back. Second 45. And switches for the Moroccans and the French side. This time France will play from left to right. They'll be attacking the other side of the goal area. Mbappe missed that first half penalty. I think that would linger maybe on the minds of some of the French players, but here come Morocco now. This is a good one.
Morocco on the counter-attack. Talbi plays in Brahim Diaz. This is looking enticing for Morocco, but Yuskunde gets it. Ball back with Talbi. The makeshift centre forward for Morocco today. Plays his football at Sunderland, connects him as he did Unai, who is now in the box. But finds a way to get the ball back to Brahim Diaz. He's just trying to get a shot on target, but that's not successful. And it's Morocco have started brightly in the second half, Alex.
Well, they've picked up, from the end of that first 45 because they were on top of it before halftime whistle. And just looking at that again, they had an opportunity from the counter. I thought they should have done better from that opportunity. But yes, they've started better and they've held on to possession for the first 2 minutes of this second 45, and that's really the intent. If you look at it, that for the Moroccan side, they know that they would have to play a bit better than they did in the first half, with more attacking fray into the French half. If they want to get anything from this game, they have to play beautiful attacking second 45.
We might just have seen a bit of a slight positional tweak. I think I can see Talbi playing more on the side. Started as a false 9, but he started his second period playing on the left, and maybe that will see Brahim Diaz play more as a false 9. But it's all fluid for Morocco, especially when they're bombing forward. But they do have a goal kick in the meantime. That's Facundo Tello. orders for the game to restart. Now it's France who will come forward now. Michael Olise, we need to see more of him on the ball. But his pass is well caught out by Morocco, who will now attack. Sends the ball towards Talbi now on the left, but just can't get there on time. I think the order from Wabi will be Talbi to run at Yus Koundé, but we'll see Manu Kone on the ground. It's looking uncomfortable. Lost him on the ground a couple of times in the first half. As the referee checks on the AS Roma midfielder. What do you think France have to do better in the second half, Alex?
Well, I think for France, same old start in that first 45. They were the better side. They created better chances. They dominated large parts of the first 45, but they just couldn't put the ball in the back of the net. What I think that Didier Deschamps will be looking at in the second half is for the French side to be a bit clinical when they are in and around the Moroccan 18-yard area, because at some point you saw them maybe too sluggish on the ball. You saw Dembele and Olise not doing too much when they had the opportunity to at least hit on target. Dembele had 2 shots off target in the first 45. Olise just didn't imprint himself too much in the game. Mbappe was the only player for the French side, alongside Desiree Doué, who were trying to make things happen in the attacking sense of things for the French national team. So I think that for this second 45, Didier Deschamps should set up the team to be a bit clinical. If they have those half chances or those little spaces in that Moroccan defense, they have to take their chances. And how do you take your chances? Do you have to create chances so you can take them? So Morocco would know that that would be the game plan for the French national team, and they will be looking to just stress them the way they did in the first 45. I think that in this second half, 5 minutes played already, Morocco have been the better side in the start of this second half. They've passed the ball better than they did in the first 45, and they've already had one chance to go their way in this one. So for the French national team, I'd expect them to be a bit clinical. If they don't take their chances, Morocco could hit them and get something off this game as they come
Morocco
forward.
coming forward through Ainoy. Sense get Talbi involved now. Talbi just trying to connect back to Ainoy. That will roll out for a corner kick. I don't know why Yus Koundé was trying to protect that one to go out. Not sure he knew that was going to go out for a corner kick. But Morocco will have to really improve in the final third. They ended the first half with an expected goals of 0.08, while for France they ended the first half with an XG of 1.86, which meant they should have at least scored a goal or two in that first half. But it's Morocco who have the first corner kick of this second half. Hakimi and Brahim Diaz take that one quickly. Ball back to Hakimi, just scanning for options, but in the meantime finds Azzedine Ounahi. Ounahi just weaves past his marker. That's Dembele. But that promising situation has just fizzled out. I think that's been the issues with Morocco, allowing promising situations just fizzle out as France will come forward. France themselves have a lot of improvements to make in the second half. Dembele has been a no-show. He needs to improve as well. Maybe they need to get Olise involved more. If there's any player that can break down any team in the world right now, it has to be the Bayern Munich man. Doué now to Dembele. Dembele back to Manu Kone. Kone links up with Koundé. Koundé to Ousmane Dembele on the right and flank. He's got options. Finds Doué. Bois declares, and Morocco can come forward on the break. Ounahi now. Morocco point forward now through Talbi. Kemsin and Talbi takes on Upamecano. Upamecano keeps touch, and it's out for a throw-in. And you can see now that looks like the plan is to play for the break.
Yeah. And it's a clear sign, like I said at the start of the second half, clear sign of intent, knowing that they have to do something different. The first 45, they were a bit too flat, sat too deep. Maybe just trying to protect, conceding early in the game. And that worked out fine for them, even though they considered a penalty that was saved nicely by Bono. but they've come out a bit in this second 45, trying to stamp their authority on this game, and it has worked out fine for them so far in the first 9 minutes of this second 45.
All right, Morocco still with the ball. Ayub Boadi, but Michael Olise intercepts and wins a free kick. An opportunity for France to be able to construct something of theirs as well. And Didier Deschamps won't be short of changes if he wants to just freshen things up, especially up front with Bradley Barcola on the bench. Lovely recovery from Kone. Now gets Kylian Mbappé into the mix. Mbappé now to Desiree Doué. Cuts inside them. What an effort and what a save from Yassine Bono. That was a stinging effort.
Another one from Doué.
Not a clean catch.
Yeah, not a clean catch. Difficult for the goalkeeper to catch that one first time, but Desiree Doué had his second shot on target. He had one in the first 45. Maybe should have done better in that occasion. This time around, he hit the ball straight, but that doesn't trouble the goalkeeper. Well, he troubled the goalkeeper. He didn't catch it one time, but it didn't go past Bono, so still 0-0.
Now Ousmane Dembele coming forward, finds Olise in that channel. France just trying to, move Morocco around. Just trying to find a way to break past that solid midfield. Now Olise on the half turn. That should be a goal, but Mbappe misses. After great work from Michael Olise, Kylian Mbappe just lashes that one over the bar. But that was great work from the Bayern Munich player.
Yeah, nicely worked again. This time just lays it out. I think Mbappe was even offside. The straying offside there. And look at that for a pass. Double hit pass there from Michael Olise. Quite skillful to do that in that position. Lays it up from Mbappe, who skies his effort. If that had gone in, I think it would have been chopped off because Mbappe was straying offside, but here come the French again.
And that's Olise with a wonderful pass towards Doué. Mbappe forced to track back. Looks like France are finally warming up the engines. Now Mbappe trying to shrug off Achraf Hakimi. And Hakimi just returning the favor by just pushing him back.
Yeah, I did that twice.
Yeah. And the referee's been forced to watch on. France trying to regain control of this game. Now Dembele gets it to Olise. Olise just waltzing into Moroccan territory, but it's been marshaled by Boadi. Back to Pamecano. Now France come through the middle, through Doué. Doué now to Mbappe. Great work, cross comes in, but it's out of play. The intention is good, but execution not there yet.
Yeah, not there yet with the execution, but once again the French just looking for spaces in that defense. Good pass to Mbappe. He had the tackle, didn't go to ground, had to just try and put a cross into the box. Flashes that one across the face of goal, but off target on that occasion. Well, the French are doing something right. They're putting bodies forward and they're looking for those spaces in and around the Moroccan defenders. But the finishing has been questionable for the French side. And that really has been the story of this game for the French national team.
Handball from Jules Koundé there. I think if we've praised Morocco for being an adventurous and attacking side, I mean, today they've also bared their fangs from a defensive standpoint. They've looked solid.
Yeah, they've looked solid.
I know they've made a couple of mistakes, especially in the first half, but aside from that, they've not looked ruffled. Diop and Mazraoui have held their own in that back line for Morocco.
I think the only questionable defensive display that we've seen from Morocco was that unbelievable cynical challenge from Mazraoui and Mbappe to give France that penalty in the first half. Apart from that, I don't think that they've lost their shape at any point in this game. They've kept a very good defensive wall. They followed the French players and they've kept tabs with them anytime they have the ball in their own half. So it's been a good defensive display from the Moroccan side. They're not known for playing defensive football. They're known for what they can do going forward. But I mean, they play a superior team, so to speak, when it comes to man-for-man quality, and they'll be forced to defend in large parts of this game, and they've done well so far.
Can Morocco just find a way to play smash and grab on this French side? Cross comes in, Mazraoui repels it. Now Mbappe on the edge of the area. That's a good effort.
Wow.
And what a goal from Kylian Mbappe. We have our first goal of this game in Boston. And it's come from Kylian Mbappe, who's put the French side against Morocco. And what an effort, as we see the Moroccans complain to referee Facundo Tayo. It's France 1, Morocco 0.
I think he will be checked if he was straying offside there before he got to the end of that pass. But it was a good pass from Desiree Doué, controlled by Mbappe just inside the 18-yard area. And he belts that one into the bottom corner, and leaving Yashin Bono no chance to react to that ball. He was scrambling across. Good goal from the man. He has now tied Lionel Messi on 8 goals. And look at that again. Mbappe was just maybe coming back from an offside position, but I think Hakimi is the man who kept him onside, and just dances there, gets it beyond the man Diop.
Just wraps the ball around Aisha Diop, and Yassin Bono is helpless.
Well, I think that's the wall he set up. He used Diop as a decoy, and the goalkeeper was scrambling across to get to that one. Wonderful goal from Kylian Mbappe. 8 times he's hit the back of the net in this tournament.
Goal number 8 for the Real Madrid man, level with Lionel Messi, as it takes in all of the adulation and puts France in the lead, and puts France one leg into the semi-finals of the FIFA World Cup. The check is over, and Facundo Tayo points to the spots for Morocco to kick things off again.
Well, the celebration is a pure sign of relief after missing that penalty in the first half. You can see that he's glad now to have given France the lead. He would have given them the lead in the first half. He missed the penalty, so
a couple of changes from Mohamed Wahabi will be made as a response to France going ahead. Sofiane Amrabat and Sofiane Rahimi are on. Ayub Buadi has been taken off. So we'll see if those changes can make or can give the required response from the Atlas Lions. But there's no stopping that Kylian Mbappe effort. Magical one. And you know, the moment it takes a look up, that finish is going to be brilliant. And Mbappe atones for missing that penalty in the first half. But the French player is down. That's the goal scorer. Hopefully he's fine, but referee waves play on while Mbappe just tries to get up. He's back up now, and Morocco get by trying to get back into this game. Do you think they have it in them, Alex?
Well, they have a quality team. They've shown that they can play good attacking football. That's not a good challenge coming from Diop. He should be yellow carded, yeah, rightly so. Facundo Tayo goes to his books. I think for the first time in this game, Issa Diop going across to have a word with Mbappe. This is just cynical. I think doing this way off your line, it's just unnecessary. I don't think they should have gone to that tackle. Mbappe is still inside the half of the French side. No danger whatsoever. And he's received the yellow card for his troubles, Issa Diop. But I mean, your earlier question about if Morocco can come back into this game, I think they can. They've shown that they can play. They already did that in the first 5 to 7 minutes of this of this second half rather. They can play attractive football and also get themselves in and around good positions where they can affect the scoreline. So if they continue doing the right things, who says they cannot pull off an equalizer? All
right, by virtue of getting a yellow card, Issa Diop will miss the next game, if there's ever one at this World Cup. Now France bombing forward again, into Rabiot. But that cross is blocked by Issa Diop. I will take a look at the golden boot race. Mbappe on 8 goals, Messi on 8, Haaland on 7, Harry Kane on 6. And Harry Kane and Erling Haaland are set to face each other on Saturday night in Miami. That definitely should be an interesting watch. Norway are here for the first time in 26 years or 28. Their last World Cup appearance was back in 1998. And Haaland was being asked, why did it take that long? It's been 28 years for Norway to get to the World Cup, and he replied,
yeah, he's only 25.
He's only 25, so it's not his fault. I mean, Haaland has been an absolute hit in this World Cup, especially on socials. I mean, the world has got to see the other side of Erling Haaland.
Quite interesting. I mean, to follow some of these players on their socials. Lamine Yamal happens to be one of them. And this is a brilliant goal from Mbappe. The drop of the shoulder, just to bend it across.
There's no way
side.
Bono is getting close to
He's
that.
never going to get to that.
Yes,
ball.
never. It's never going to get close. And like you rightly said, I think he uses his Diop as a screen.
That's the screen to, you know, set up the shot. Dembele
coming forward. It's a goal.
It's over.
France got a second one.
It's over.
And it's the Ballon d'Or winner, Ousmane Dembele.
It's over.
Who has scored the second for Les Bleus and have almost planted their foot firmly in the semifinals of the FIFA World Cup. France 2, Morocco 0.
Wonderful goal from Ousmane Dembele. Steps up there, just carried the ball with his left, had to drop his shoulder, changes direction to his right, edge of the area, plants the ball into the bottom left corner. And Yassine Bono was struggling to get to that one again. France doubled their lead, 67 minutes on the clock. And you can see the despair on the faces of the Moroccan players. This may just be the repeat of the scoreline we saw in 2022. And once again, it's Michael Olise who starts it up, lays it off for Mbappe, who drops it for Dembele. Look at that. Nicely done. Ball into the back of the net. And boy, are they so good. The first 45, you didn't see the quality from the attacking display of the French national team. But hey, the second 45 is a different story. 2-0. And it almost feels like game over now.
They say the cream always rises to the top. Looks like this French cream has found its way to the zenith as Morocco are perplexed. And how did they come back from this one? It's a heart-wrencher for Morocco. Just after Mohamed Wabi made a couple of changes.
Yeah.
But when you have players of the profile of Mbappe and Dembele, they will always ask questions.
Well,
they will always bang on the door.
Well, if one goal was very difficult to overturn, 2 goals feels like climbing the Eiffel Tower now, because I don't see any way how they get 2 goals and drag this game to extra time. They've not been so good, you know, when it comes to the attacking display. That's for the Moroccans now. I think that they should have done way better than they've done so far in this game in 67 minutes. But I mean, that's what you get. France are a quality side. They only need few chances to register goals, and they've shown in the second half that, hey, they don't need too much to score.
Hydration break. And can Morocco find some inspiration after a sip of water and instruction from their manager? Only time will tell. We've seen how Senegal relinquished a 2-goal lead, and just 2 days ago Egypt let a 2-goal lead slip and allowed Argentina into the last 16.
And guess what? All of these comebacks happen after the second water break.
So we'll see. Maybe Morocco have got it in them. There's only one way to find out. We'll take a hydration break. We'll be right back as well. We're back from the hydration break, and the final 20 minutes of this encounter is on, and France have a 2-goal cushion. They are very, very much comfortable. Almost there, but I'm sure they did a shot at the hydration break. Alex will be telling the boys it's not over until it's over.
Yeah, it's definitely not over. I mean, nothing is impossible in football. Who says Morocco cannot score 2 goals? Who says they cannot come back in this game? But the French will know that they have the advantage, so they don't have to, be hasty with their passing or hasty with how they bring the ball forward. Morocco should be the ones with a sense of urgency, looking for at least a goal that could bring them back into contention for a possible ticket to the semi-final of this game. So for France, they would have to, when they get possession, try and just play it easy, try and make life difficult for the Moroccans by passing the ball from left, right, and making it difficult for them to get on the end of things. But for Morocco, when they get possession, it's about urgency, it's about going forward, it's about trying to look for spaces around the French defense, and also it's about putting the ball in the back of the net, because that's the important thing for Morocco now. They have to score if they want to salvage something or drag this game to extra time.
It must be heartbreaking for Morocco, who started the second half on a very positive note. There was some scare for the French. Dario Upamecano thought he had tried to clear that cross from Kensington Talbi. The miscues and almost causes a moment of worry for Mike Magna, but that sails over the goal. That goes out for a corner kick.
Yeah,
I was just talking about how Morocco started really well, but were sucker punched by the quality of the French going forward. Mbappe, Dembele, Olise. Don't forget his part in those 2 goals. He was orchestrator in chief. Michael Olise, corner kick taken, and I will find Azedine Unai, who tries to control, keeps it in play, but referee says no. It's out for a throw-in. Alex, what chance? I mean, how do you beat this French side?
Well, it's a difficult thing to do. They're very compact at the back. They have good defenders. They also have one of the best midfielders in this tournament. And hey, they have Mbappe. So, it's a difficult test when you play against this French side. Very compact, good on the ball, good off the ball. Morocco would have to find something extra. I mean, I'm looking at the remaining teams at this tournament, and I'm thinking, who can stop this French national team? I still cannot find the answer. Not even Argentina.
Mohamed Wabi takes off Saladin and Brahim Diaz. Yassin has come on. And his first point of duty is to foul Desiree Doué. I think the only way to beat this French side is to outscore them.
Yeah, that would be the only way.
Yeah.
But who can outscore them? I think that's
the only way. As we see Gianni Infantino with his World Cup hat on.
It's quite sunny out there.
No thunderstorms, but with France, when it rains, it pours with the goals. They've done that twice. 74 minutes gone. France 2, Morocco 0. Remember to subscribe to our channel, VIV Exports. Just click on that button below the screen and you'll be a part of the community. As the World Cup is fizzling out, the WAFCON is coming into the horizon. That's the Women Africa Cup of Nations. And guess who's hosting? It's Morocco. They were finalists at the last edition, right?
Yep, and they lost.
They lost to the Super Falcons, who won their
10th title.
10th WAFCON title. Can they get number 11 in Morocco? All the coverage right here on VIV Exports, so make sure you just stick around with us. Just Morocco finding the way to get back into this one, and I think that's been the theme of the game for them so far. They've struggled to really create clear-cut chances.
Yeah, they have struggled to create clear-cut chances, and I think they let the French so easy, because they let them off easy rather. They're not doing too much to disturb the defense of the French national team. Mbappe is down on the ground. That doesn't look good. If a player goes down to the ground,
that might be the after effects of that tackle from Issa Diop.
Yeah,
who knows?
Maybe cramps or something. I don't know, but it really doesn't look good. I mean, they have the semifinals to if they qualify, they have the semi-finals in about 3 days' time. So you would need your players to be fit and ready to go. This doesn't look good. I can tell you for free. If a player goes down on their own, it sometimes spells doom. And it could be a lengthy spell out. Hopefully that's not the case for Mbappe. You need all of the best legs to be playing at the latter stages of a big tournament like the FIFA World Cup.
All right, so Mbappe is back up, but it looks like his job is done as Didier Deschamps readies Jean-Philippe Mateta. You can also see Bradley Barcola preparing to come on. And we will be coming off for Bradley Barcola, but it's confirmed here, gets a rousing ovation. Kylian Mbappe, deservedly so. I mean, what a way to really atone for that penalty miss. So he's out. Jean-Philippe Mateta is on. But it will be a double change for Didier Deschamps. Desiree Doué has also come off. Bradley Barcola will come on for the French. 13 minutes of regulation time. Enough time, more than enough time.
Yeah.
I mean, this was the 13 minutes
Argentina needed
to turn it around
goals,
against the Pharaohs. Look away, Osama-san.
What story that would be if Morocco scored 3 in 30 minutes. But the biggest upset in football.
That will be incredible.
Something, yeah. I doubt it's going to happen though, but yeah.
Well, so far so good. The Moroccans are even yet to register a shot on target. That's how bad their forward play has been tonight. And it's not a shame to lose to the French.
Yeah.
They're one of the best teams in the world, if not the best in the world. Now France coming forward through Michael Olise. Linking up with Barcola now. Mateta with a chance there, but it's been caught away by Nusser Mezraoui. The French are just trying to get it back, but the referee whistles for a free kick. Right now, it's just how Morocco can just craft something, just give themselves a fighting chance. Unfortunately, they've met a French brick wall. Credit to Manu Kone and Adrien Rabiot. Have protected that back for really well. I think there's like Michael Olise also have chipped in defensively as well.
Yeah, everybody has to do something now. They've all done their business. They've all done the job. And you can see how deep Dembele, Olise and Mateta are, just trying to preserve their 2-0 lead. It's not a masterful performance from the French, but it's enough to get them 2 goals in this game. And they'll take it.
I'm not too sure the Moroccans have thrown the kitchen sink at it. I mean, go all full out. We've got nothing to lose at this stage. Let's just go all out.
But the thing with throwing the kitchen sink is you could concede more goals if you do that. So
at this point, you've got nothing to lose. You've got absolutely nothing to lose. France coming forward. Barcola now. But that pass towards into the middle just can't find Mateta or Dembele, but still enough to win a corner kick, I think.
Yeah, it was nicely done from Michael Olise. Sets it up for Bradley Barcola. The in-channel run was good, but I think that we should have been picking a pass to Mateta and not playing it across the face of goal. Mateta was just standing behind there, waiting for the pass, but couldn't get it. The French will take the corner now from the right-hand side.
It's a shot one. Great work from Rabiot there. Olise. The France side looking very comfortable now. They know they just need to wind down the time. They'll probably just just get the cherry on the top. Probably the third one. Mateta trying to get to that cross, but it's just too much for the Crystal Palace man.
It was a telling ball from the left, maybe too deep. Mateta struggled to get to the end of that one, but catching practice for Bono. And like you said, Morocco are not putting so much going forward, and you then ask the question, what's happening with them? And they should be the ones holding on to the ball, trying to create chances. But the French are still creating chances, even with them having 2 goals and leading in this game. Just 10 minutes of football left to be played. that we're going to get at least 6 to 7 minutes added, but it just doesn't look good for Morocco at this stage of the game.
Could this be the end of the road for the Atlas Lions of Morocco? 9 more minutes for them to turn things around. They're coming through the left, but that will go out for a goal kick. Some good defending from Jules Koundé there. As we take a look at Kylian Mbappé, I think it will be fine.
Yeah.
Yes, we take a look at that goal again.
A beautiful goal.
That's a wonderful curler.
Yeah. Just to check the distance and the spin rate and also the ball speed. Traveling 85 kilometers per hour. That's quite fast.
Only few players in the world could do this, and that's why one of the best. I mean, I was talking about Brazilian football and how, you know, one of the biggest problems they've had over the years is just trying to find their Ronaldo air. They lack a number 9 since the days of Ronaldo de Lima. And I told someone, unfortunately, Ronaldo here apparent is not playing for Brazil. He's playing for France.
Yeah.
I watch Kylian Mbappe, and every time what I see is Ronaldo de Lima.
Yeah, it does remind you of Ronaldo de Lima.
And I mean, Brazil would do really well to have a player like Kylian Mbappe right now. It can change a lot for them.
Certainly so, can change a lot for them. The prayers will come now for the Moroccan fans. I don't think they're doing enough to make those prayers come true, because we've just seen them a bit too sluggish when they have possession, especially deep inside the French half. Oh,
Got a for Munai there. It's palmed away by Mike. No, that's their first shot on targets tonight.
It was well taken. The Marseille midfielder Unai was looking to bend that one to the far corner. Good save from Mike Maignan.
Maignan finally has a feeling that is involved tonight for the first time.
Yeah, just lots of players in his line of view there, but did well to go to the ground to save that one. They have another corner. That's the Moroccans now. Well, you can use this as an opportunity to pile in those pressure, and if they get a goal now, they can maybe push for an equalizer.
Corner kick to Morocco. And Achraf Hakimi will take. They are entering last chance saloon right now. They need to get one back ASAP. Corner kick's taken, and it's a goal. Oh, it's side net. I know he just hit the side net with his glancing header. Oh, that was just the side of the net.
Yeah, it's a brilliant corner from Hakimi. The header was good. It was just side netting. If that was on target, the goalkeeper was already rooted to the spot. He wasn't going to get there.
Alright, Talbi's off.
Yeah.
And on comes Spy. The number 17. Will be hoping that he can make some impact for the Atlas Lions of Morocco.
I think they've missed Sabair in this game.
Yeah.
Moroccans. They've missed his quality.
His mobility.
Yeah, his mobility and then his ball reading movement up front. They've missed him in this one. So they have to make do with what they have. And that's the way the game goes. 85 minutes on the clock, and you just don't see a way for Morocco back in this game. Quite sad.
But they've been dictating the game in the last 5 minutes, but that's natural to expect. France feeling that they are almost there. Mazraoui now coming forward with the ball. Now to Spy, the new entrant. On the left hand side, sends a cross in, but Maignan should easily pick this one up. And he quickly sends it to Bradley Bacola. It's Bacola coming forward now, trying to link up with Mateta.
Oh,
Gets
nice.
Dembele on the shoe there, but that's not an impressive effort for Michael Olise, who is still searching for his first World Cup goal,
Yeah,
right?
still searching for that, and that was a good pass just across the face of the defense. onto the left boot of Michael Olise. We would have thought that he would do better from that position, and we will see him for Bayern bend it into the back of the net from that sort of position, but that shot on that occasion was way off target. Jules Koundé comes off for the French side. Well, he's done well. Had a shaky performance against the Senegalese. Malo Gusto comes on for him. 4 more minutes of football to be played in regular time. And this game just keeps slipping away by the seconds from Morocco.
Alright, don't forget, we've got more quarterfinal games coming up. England take on Norway. We have Spain up against Belgium tomorrow. And in Kansas City, it's Argentina, world champions, against the Swiss. Now France come forward. Dembele trying to get the ball across to Mateta, but that's unsuccessful. What do you think? What's next for Morocco here? I mean, they're almost out of the World Cup.
Yeah, they're almost
next?
out of the World Cup. This should be 3.
Oh, that's Bakola sending an effort, but Yassine Bounou powers it for a corner kick. We're talking about what could be next for Moroccan football.
2027 AFCON, that would be the idea. I mean, we don't even know if they're the champions of the previous one, or still very much asterisk. I mean, some call them champions, some call Senegal the champions. Still very much up for. And I just saw Thuram on the bench. So much quality.
Yeah, he's been dealing with an injury.
Yeah,
still not fully fit, Marcus Thuram. But that's a quality option to have from the bench.
Yeah.
And that French side is littered with quality everywhere. And they also have the Man City midfielder who snubbed Didier Deschamps' handshake after one of the games.
Ryan Cherki.
Ryan Cherki.
Yeah, I can understand. He's a quality player. I mean, Michael Olise is great. Dembele is wonderful. Bakola and Desiree Doué are also very good. But I think that Cherki should maybe have been given more minutes than what he has seen so far this World Cup. No disrespect to the guys who are starting. Like I said, they're really good players on their day, can change the course of a football game. But Ryan Cherki also has that ability. He also has that quality. So I think that maybe more minutes to the man. I can understand the frustration. I mean, he was part of the setup for Manchester City, played really well for Pep Guardiola's men, won 2 titles. Should have been considered more, I dare say.
Morocco coming forward now. And right now, I think it's just about restoring some pride. You look at them and there's this, they're defeated already. They're not, they're not putting anything. Their heads are down. And it's just about seeing out this game. I mean, Mohamed Wahabi, considering the time frame, has done an incredible job.
Yeah, he has short time. Still drew the team well, still made them play good football, still brought them to this tournament, and they've done wonderfully well. I mean, it's not a disgrace or a sad thing to lose to France. I mean, it's France in the end, one of the big teams and one of the favourites to go all the way and win this tournament, so they should hold their heads high. They've done a good business to get to this stage of the tournament. Semi-final in 2022, quarter-final in 2026. Not bad for Moroccan football, if you ask me.
Alright, the Argentine official will raise the board for 6 minutes added on. As France pour forward again. Dembele gets the ball to Adrien Rabiot. Rabiot has been silently effective tonight for the French. It's been a mainstay of that Didier Deschamps architecture since 2018.
Yeah.
Not a popular guy in the French setup, but always regularly trusted to do a job in midfield for Didier Deschamps. As the Moroccan fans are looking morose.
Same scoreline like 2022. Same type of game. French didn't come to the party in the first half, turned everything around in the second half. But I can tell you, this didn't feel like a quarter-final World Cup game. It almost felt like a group stage match between these two sides. The semi-final game they played 4 years ago had way more.
It was a blockbuster.
Blockbuster game, the end-to-end stuff. the attacking intent from both sides. This has no resemblance of that game, but I mean, the French don't care. They're in the semi-final now, and they'll be waiting for either Spain or Belgium.
So Morocco have a corner kick taken by his boy. Whipped in, but connection lacking. But they still retain the possession. So we are gradually approaching full time in Boston. To everyone who has watched this live along, big shout to you guys. Remember to subscribe to our channel, VIV Exports. As France come forward again, Ousmane Dembele trying to orchestrate things. They're going to take it slow and easy now, just to see out the game. But it's been an effective performance from France. Deschamps will take it, maybe not a 5-star performance.
Yep.
But at this stage of the tournament, you just need to get the job done.
Yeah, you need to get the job done. But nobody really cares about playing beautiful football if you cannot get the job done. They've done the business of scoring 2 goals. Yes, it may not have been pretty on the eye, may not have been the vintage French performance where you see them blow away their opponents. But they've been calm. They've been the better side. They've controlled large parts of this game. And that's just the story of this one. The French had 2 opportunities in the second half. They took those chances.
Mateta now trying to get a goal of his. But Yacine Bounou just sweeps that away with his legs. That was on target.
Yeah, counts as a shot on target for Mateta. Here comes Morocco.
That's some good defending. Malo Gusto there. And Michael Olise. And it's nonchalance best.
Yeah.
But Morocco can leave the World Cup with their heads high, with great performances against Brazil, and then the second half performance against Canada was really, really good.
Yeah,
everything
really
came
good.
together for them.
Yeah.
In that second half, unfortunately, did not be able to replicate against the French.
And they also played a good game against Scotland in the group stage, where they won by 1-0. They've just been outclassed, I think so, by the quality of the French side. We've depended on 2 of the world's best players, one Dembele, the other Mbappe. They didn't need too much, just those chances. And they were not clear-cut chances if you look at the goals. I mean, Mbappe still had the player right in front of him and he still bends the ball around him. Dembele also running to the Moroccan defenders. It wasn't a clear-cut chance. He had to just side foot that one into the bottom corner. So it's just been the class of the French players coming to play in this game. And the French will have to perform better in the semi-finals if they want to make it to the final.
Right, they're up against either Spain or Belgium. And it's a Belgium side that are still yet to convince at the Mondial, although they're in the quarterfinals. And that's some impressive feats for them. Comeback wins against Senegal and the thrashing of the coast United States of America, despite the furore surrounding Folarin Balogun's availability for that game. I think that was added motivation for them, though.
Yeah, it was added motivation, and they went and scored 4. It's the same way they scored 4 against the US in a friendly match before the World Cup. They beat them 4-1. They just had to repeat that scoreline again this time in the round of 16 matchup. Romelu Lukaku stepping up to score a late goal to make it 4-1. But this has been France's night, and they've done so well.
Alright, that should be it. That effort from Olise, blazing over the bar, and that's that. It's full time in Boston. France have qualified for the semi-finals of the FIFA World Cup. Despite a first half penalty miss from Kylian Mbappé, the Frenchman came back in the second half with a wonderful effort to open the scoring, and Ousmane Dembele finished off the Moroccans with a sweeping finish to ensure that the French will be doing back-to-back semi-finals at the World Cup. Semi-finals in 2018, semi-finals in 2022, and now in 2026. Zenit France 2, Morocco 0, and they will take on the winners of the Spain-Belgium quarterfinal that goes down tomorrow in Los Angeles. To those who followed tonight's broadcast, thank you very much for following this watch along on VIV Sports. Really appreciate that, and join us live for more engaging watch parties this World Cup. Alex, thanks for coming along.
It's been a pleasure.
Alright, you guys have a wonderful night, and we'll see you next time. For the action in the last set continues. Spain taking Belgium. There's England against Norway. This is the Vikings up against the Lions. Winter is coming. And also we have the world champions, the Derby Celeste of Argentina, taking on Murat Yakin's Switzerland. All of that action is live right here on VIV Sports, so make sure you subscribe to our channel. Do have a wonderful night rest. I will see you next time. Bye bye for now.
The ball. Fantastic ball there. A chance for Morocco. 1-0 to Morocco. Sarabia! What a pass! Goal number 1! Morocco! Against the run of play, Morocco take the lead. What a pass! What a pass! I think that assist came from Brahim Diaz. A completely, defense splitting pass there, straight through between Marquinhos and Gabriel. He's in on goal. What a pass! Alisson in no man's land, and Sarabia just lobs the ball over Alisson, and Gabriel is clutching at straws there. What a finish! Till date, no save for Yassine Bonu, and here's Vinicius. Goal! Just what a response! What a response! Brazil are backing it. Vinicius Junior. He doesn't have to be in the game most of the time. One chance, one goal. Brazil level. Brazil lose the ball. Fantastic ball there. A chance for Morocco. 1-0 to Morocco. Sarabia! What a pass! Goal number 1. Morocco! Against the run of play, Morocco take the lead. What a pass! What a pass! I think that assist came from Brahim Diaz. A completely, defense splitting pass there, straight through between Marquinhos and Gabriel. He's in on goal. What a pass! Alisson in no man's land, and Sarabia just lobs the ball over Alisson, and Gabriel is clutching at straws there. What a finish! Till date, no save for Yassine Bonu, and here's Vinicius. Goal! Just what a response! What a response! Brazil are backing it. Vinicius Junior. He doesn't have to be in the game most of the time. One chance, one goal. Brazil level. Brazil lose the ball. Fantastic ball there. A chance for Morocco. 1-0 to